Hi guys, my name is Mariah. I'm 16 and I'm pregnant. Okay, so me and my baby's dad started talking through Snapchat about last year in January, and we did hang out a couple of times, but we stopped talking because he had told me if I'm looking for a relationship, then I'm looking the wrong way. So at that point, I was like, I'm just not going to talk to him throughout the summer and stuff. So maybe about July, he hit me up again and was like, so why'd you stop talking to me and stuff? So I was like, well, do you not remember what you said? And so he was like, well, you know, people change and stuff. And so, of course, I gave him a second chance. And we started talking, and then he was just, like, really nice when we hung out and stuff. So I was like, wow, like, this is just something different. So in about October is when the incident happened, and I took a Plan B. He got me a Plan B. Like maybe like 9 hours after he got me a Plan B, so I was like, you know, just thinking I was in the clear, basically. And so after a while, you know, everything was still good, and then he kept asking me like, did I start my period? I was like, no, like I'm not going to start my period for like a while because I had ended my period in the beginning of October. So after like a while started to go by, and you know, I didn't get my period, I was thinking like, I was wondering like, why am I not starting my period? So I had asked one of my friends who I knew took a Plan B before, like, when did they start the period? And she was just like, well, you know, I didn't start my period, like I was late for like 3 weeks. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm fine. And then I started just looking things up on Google because I was still scared, and people were like saying that they didn't start the period. One girl was saying she didn't start her period for like 100-something days. So I was like, wow, like I don't have nothing to worry about. And so, you know, I was never late on my period, but then I was late 2 weeks, then 3 weeks, and then like 4 weeks. So then I was like, I can't be pregnant, so I'm just gonna go just take a test just to see what would happen, so I would like clear my mind because I was really stressed out about it. And so I got the test, and I was at my friend's house, and right when I took the test, it said positive. But it was like a really faint line that it was positive, but like I was just really thinking like, this can't be true. Like there's no way that this can happen to me out of all people. So I went to my friend's room, and I was just freaking out, like crying. I've never cried so much before. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to tell my mom? Like, how am I going to go to college? I was just thinking, you know, everything is just about to go away. I was like, oh my gosh, I was just so scared. So I was crying for a long time, and then my friend was like, oh, I'm just going to ask my mom because, you know, the line was like faint, and we didn't really know like what that meant. And so her mom was like, well, that you just need to take another test. But I was like, oh my gosh, like this cannot be happening. So I sent a picture to my baby's dad, and he just immediately was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. He was like, well, I'll pay for you to get an abortion. And so I was just like, maybe I should get an abortion, because you know, I didn't want to tell my mom and stuff. So after that, I was like, maybe I'm really not pregnant, like maybe I should just take another test. But then maybe like a week after is when I just started throwing up, like every single day, like everything I ate, I would just be throwing up. So I was like, dang, I already know that, you know, I'm pregnant. And of course I didn't get my period. So I was like, how am I gonna get an abortion? Because out here in Arizona, it's like you have to have a parent with you. And my baby's dad was telling me like, you could, we have to go to court and get something signed off by a judge saying that, you know, I could, why I want to get it without my parents' permission. And so I was thinking like, this is just gonna be so much work, and I was gonna have to skip school. And I was like, my mom has my location, like how am I gonna do this? Skip school and just make it back on time back home. So I was like, I was just stressed out, and then, you know, weeks went by. I ended up taking another test, and then, of course, it was positive. And I was just like, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. So I was just thinking about, you know, still thinking about the abortion, but I'm like, there's no way that it's gonna work. So my friends were just like, just tell your mom, like, just tell her. And so I was like, okay, I'll just tell my mom. So one day we were gonna watch a movie, me and my mom, and then I was just crying because I didn't know, you know, what to say. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna tell her? Because I already know that she's about to be mad, because she's always telling me, like, not to get pregnant. And I'm gonna cry. Wait, I don't want to cry. Let's pause. So I was crying, and then I was like, just thinking about how I'm gonna tell my mom. And so I was just like, let me just go in there and wait to tell her after we watch the movie. Oh my God. And so I came in here, and I was kind of crying, and she was like, what's wrong? I was like, nothing, like, I'll just tell her later. And so she was like, what's wrong? I was like, nothing. And then she had asked me, like, are you pregnant? And then I just said, I think I'm pregnant. And so she was just, you know, gave me a hug and was like, she's not really mad at me, but she's just, she just said that she's just disappointed in me and stuff. And so I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, but I don't think she really believed it at first. And so she was like, you should just take a test and let me see. So she went in her room and, you know, got a test and was like, just go take it. And then I took the test, and it was positive. And then she was like, I could see that she was about to cry, but I started to tell her that, you know, I think I want to get an abortion. And then she was just telling me that that's just the wrong thing to do and stuff. And so I was pretty scared. I was like, I thought about keeping her before, but I was like, how am I going to have a baby? Like, I don't understand. And she was just telling me that, you know, I can do it and stuff. Oh my God. And so I started to think, like, maybe I can't do it, and that I would really regret it. If I got an abortion, I know that I would regret it. So I told my baby's dad that, you know, I wanted to keep it and stuff, and he was just really mad, saying that I'm ruining his life and stuff, and that like, he doesn't understand why I'm doing this to him, and saying that I was a mistake and stuff. So okay, so I just, you know, didn't know how to feel. I was like, well, you know, I don't really need him. I don't even care. I don't really care, because my mom was telling me that, you know, that's really just what happens, how some guys are, and that I don't need him and stuff. And so I was like, yeah. So at that point, I just didn't even care what he said anymore. And then I started, I basically started to tell my family, and they're all supportive and stuff. They just always shocked that I got pregnant and stuff. So yeah, as time went by, like, things definitely got easier, and I'm 6 months pregnant now. So yeah, basically everything is good, and my baby's dad ended up, you know, kind of coming around and stuff, and like being okay with it and everything. But yeah, we're not together, and, you know, we're just friends, I guess. Okay, so I wanted to just make this video to tell you guys my story, and that if girls are in my situation, to just, you know, really think about the consequences that there is about having sex. And if you're thinking about abortion, just really think about how precious life is, and that, you know, like being pregnant and having a baby is not the end of the world, and that, you know, you'll get through it. It's Raya, so thank you for watching my video, and subscribe for more videos, and also follow my Snapchat, my Instagram, and my Twitter. Until next time.